Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон. Trap сонсон, trap донсон. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Дагаж дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. It's me and the Greg Wilson.
Hey buddy.
In the house. We got a great show today. We got Ben Askren on the show.
Fun.
As well as Craig Diamond, the founder of Diamond Cups. Yes. No, he's a good guy. I did the interview. We actually pre-recorded it.
Okay, good.
The guy's got a very interesting story, as well as Jared, the Monkey God Brooks, who is awesome. He's been killing it. And an undefeated fighter named Jordan Johnson, a guy that you should know about. This dude is 10-0. Is whooping people.
Nice.
I want to thank Speedweed. Listen, people, marijuana is legal in California, and there's no reason you should have to leave the house to get it, okay? You order Chinese food, you order pizza, you order everything. Some people order escorts, okay? Order marijuana, all right?
Some people, I don't know.
Gas is way expensive, and it's just a pain in the ass. And you go to a dispensary now, it's like Walmart, okay? It's fucking packed. It's just annoying. They've managed to make dispensaries annoying, all right? But this way, they come, they overnight it to you, they get it to you. They have everything. They have THC. They have CBD. They have marijuana sex lube. They have marijuana beef jerky. They have marijuana gum. They have marijuana mints.
It's a whole new world.
You think of it, they got it, and they will deliver it to you. Just mention Roasted. You get $10 off. Orders $100 or more. Also, Santa Cruz Medicinals. They make potent lab-tested CBD formulas. I use this stuff, and their olive oil, it can make any recipe CBD infused. Any recipe, okay? It helps with pain. You could add they got their coconut oil. You could put it to your coffee, your shakes. You could use it topically to reduce inflammation. Okay, you just mentioned MMA Roasted. You get $5 off your order, okay? This is really, really good stuff. Trust me on this one, people. I'm not telling you lies, okay? They're good people, and they have great stuff. And Santa, I'm telling you, they are the truth, okay? They're the truth. Santa Cruz Medicinals. Just go to scmedicinals.com. That's scmedicinals.com. And also, they have a CBD-infused pain cream, okay? They had so many people reach out to them saying they were using their coconut oil topically for pain, and now they have a CBD-infused pain cream. You can get it, okay? It's only $14.99 off their website, scmedicinals.com. And they got a new vaporizer pen, okay? Brand new vape pen. They worked hard to research it. Many suppliers tried selling us on inferior cheap products, and they didn't take it, okay? They got a 200 milligram CBD vape cartridge. It comes ready to use. Check it out, okay? They got strawberry lemonade. They got subtle flavor, smooth, no CBD smell. You could use it anywhere. So check it out at scmedicinals.com. So, Greg.
Yes.
How's it going, brother?
It's good, man. Things have been good. The commercial's out and airing all the time now, and
yes,
that was very exciting. Saw myself many times during Sunday football. Sunday night, went to the, had shows at the Ha Ha. The fights, obviously, on Saturday. And then we had a show at the Ha Ha. That was incredible. And Sunday night, we went to, and the Cowboys were playing Houston, and I had to go on, basically airplane mode because I wasn't able to watch it, and I didn't want any spoilers. And so we went to the Forum to see Journey with Def Leppard.
How was that?
That was fantastic.
Really?
Oh, well, I grew up with that.
Even with the Filipino guys?
Oh, dude, they're the best with the Filipino guy because it sounds just like you're hearing it with Steve Perry. Right. So, they were great. And Def Leppard, they're cheesy, they're silly, whatever.
They got some good songs.
Yeah, no, but I know the music because my brother Mark was into metal when I was a kid. So whatever Mark listened to, that's what I had to listen to. So, even though, I'm not a huge, oh my God, Def Leppard, I knew all the songs and still had a blast, And so that was a great time. But of course, we go down. My buddy, who used to be a comic, this guy, John Morgan, he's now the director of production at the Forum. So he got us into the Forum Club, which has all this free food and the separate bar. It was totally awesome. But of course, the game was on in the bar. But I don't want to watch the game because I don't know what happened at that point. I missed an hour in between there while you're driving and parking. So I didn't want to watch it. So I'm trying to shield my eyes while we're in this area to try and save the game for myself.
Plus now, you can't do anything. You can't go on Instagram. Instagram.
Exactly.
Okay,
I had to
you can't
stay
go on
off of
Facebook,
everything.
Twitter. You go on Waze, like make it right, just like the right hand that Khabib landed. I mean, there's nothing you can do. By the way, let's talk about that.
Let's get right into it.
First of all, I was wrong. Okay, I'll admit it. I thought Conor was going to knock him out. I thought Khabib kept his chin straight up, and I'm like, this is tailor-made for Conor McGregor. I had an idea, but man, Khabib looked amazing. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well,
First of all, Khabib beat a guy, okay, who people are now all sleeping on Conor and saying, oh, overrated, or he was a hype, and this and that. No, he was not a hype. He beat Nate Diaz the second time. He beat Poirier. He beat Aldo in 9 seconds, knocked out Poirier in 1 round, beat Holloway 3 rounds to nothing, okay, beat Eddie Alvarez, destroyed Eddie Alvarez, beat Mendez, all right? I mean, this is not just some Joe Schmo they built up.
No,
okay?
but I feel like when they say that, they're talking more about the distractions and all the other things that he's done.
This was the worst Conor McGregor that I've ever seen. But also...
But he was talking like he was the best.
Yeah, but also, you got to think... Look, the game catches up to you.
Yeah.
You can't... Khabib is every day working his ass off.
Yeah.
Okay? His wrestling, you're not going to catch up to his wrestling. He's ready for you. You can't all of a sudden, go on these, like, week-long... let's say coke binges and fly in a private jet, allegedly, like private jets and smashing out buses and all this other stuff. And then also, Bisping said, I don't think he's actually has the right wrestlers in his camp. Bisping was right. He was 100 right. And I just can't believe that Khabib walked through McGregor's punches.
That was the thing. You just said it, man, because it wasn't like McGregor didn't hit him.
Yeah.
He walked through it. And when that happened, I was like, oh, shit.
That was the most shocking thing, because the whole time I'm watching it, right, and I was in Iowa, I was headlining the Funny Bone, I was doing great, I get back to my hotel, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch the replay, and all of a sudden the fight starts, and they're airing it in the hotel. Like, somebody streamed it. I'm like, this is not even legal, but I'm not complaining, right? And I'm watching it, I'm like, this is the best. And I'm rooting for Khabib. I want Khabib to win. I just didn't think he was going to. I thought that eventually McGregor was going to catch him. And in that third round, when Khabib is like, punch me as hard as you can, I'm like, why is he doing this? This is the end. And he fucking walked through it.
Dude, I knew it. I was like, dude, he had the extra anger, like that made him the invincibility.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
It was unreal. You could tell he was like, you cannot hurt me. Like,
he got rocked more against Michael Johnson than he did against this guy.
Absolutely. No, he was running on pure anger, hatred, deep,
but that still
that you don't get out of him normally. He's normally emotionless.
That doesn't make you have you a better chin. You can be as angry as you want. I thought McGregor was...
I think in this case it did.
I'm not sure if it's a case of... Some people tweeted out, some fighters were like, I guess McGregor was off the juice. That's what somebody said. Off the steroids. I don't know.
Say whatever. There's words.
That's what one fighter said. Okay. Another thing was like maybe when his boxing training. Okay, all that boxing, because in boxing you don't throw crazy overhands like you do in MMA. Maybe he doesn't have the power that he once had, or maybe Khabib's chin is that good.
I was going to say, or Khabib is the Michael Myers of the MMA, and he just walks through everything that should kill a normal man.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And it was awesome. I was so fucking happy. Now, let's talk about the end of the fight. Okay, first of all, McGregor was cheating the whole fight. Okay, he was grabbing...
Oh, he had his fingers and feet in the cage, they were letting him do it. I'm like, tell him to get his fucking feet out of the cage.
And not only that, he was grabbing the shorts.
Yes.
And then he was grabbing the gloves. At one point, Khabib looked at the refs and said, he's grabbing my gloves.
Yeah.
It was almost like the bad guy in wrestling. Remember like when 80s wrestling, when one guy kept doing these fucking, like the ref would go, look over there. And the ref would look for some reason. And he'd hit him.
Right.
It was like, but McGregor knew right from the start, like, I'm fucked. You could tell in the first round, he was like, I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as far as the ending, here's my thoughts on this. Got a couple thoughts. First of all, Khabib jumps out of the cage, right? Gets in Dylan Dennis's head. Dylan Dennis called him a rat, a filthy rat. That's what I heard. He called him a filthy rat. And, said all this stuff. That doesn't get him suspended. Maybe gets him suspended for a couple months. That's not the big problem. The problem was his teammates jumping into the cage.
Totally. His teammates jumped in the cage and attacked Conor from behind.
We're not having this conversation of who's going to get suspended if all he does is jump out of the cage.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Taboo. Not cool. But Conor jumped out of the cage against Aldo. When he beat somebody, we knocked out the guy who he beat before Aldo, he jumped out of the cage and got into Aldo's
But
face.
he didn't attack him and start swinging. It may have felt that, but he was more just got in his face. Whereas this guy just went, I just fucking attacked him.
Okay, fine, maybe, all right. But also, people are saying
Which was awesome.
Conor did punch one of Khabib's cornermen on top of the cage. If you look, because I've watched it 95 different times. Everyone has different angles.
Yeah.
Conor did throw the first punch. Granted, Khabib started it, so it's almost like in like a car wreck where the first car that hits the guy, all the cars that pile up.
Right.
It's the first car that caused the wreck, but the bumper to bumper thing. You know how
Right.
So that's sort of like, you can't, I don't know if you could blame Conor. They are saying they're going to fine Conor for punching the other guy, but Khabib did start it. Khabib should be fine. Now, what should he be fine? First of all, there's two guys that came into the cage that hit him from behind.
Totally.
Done.
Forever. Banned forever.
One of them's like a top 15 guy, I think.
I know, but he knew what he was gambling. The second he did that, they were like, fuck it all. It's about tonight. We're fucking going out. And it's like they should have done it.
And he posted on Instagram, like, I said I was going to smack McGregor. I did. You know, like, great.
At what cost, bro?
Right. So that guy, both of those guys should be done. All right. Done. Never fighting in the UFC. Other organizations, maybe, fine. Khabib, I think, should get a 4-month suspension, 5-month suspension, because what McGregor did was worse, okay? Attacking a bus full of innocent people, I would say, is worse. He attacked one guy, Dylan Dennis. McGregor took a fucking dolly and hurled it.
I'll tell you why this is worse, because this was this started a chain of events with thousands of people involved. You know, this lit basically.
It wasn't thousands of people. It was like 10 people.
But it was spilled out onto the streets of Vegas.
Yeah, well, you can't blame that.
You know, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Absolutely,
No,
you can.
yes,
you can.
Cannot.
This lit it was already a tinderbox.
Those
it was
fights
already,
anyway.
and not as many. Not at all.
Bullshit. So
not at all. I think that
No.
lit a tinderbox, and that whole thing went up in flames. And right there in the arena, it started a fucking brawl of epic proportions.
Okay, so
I think it definitely is far more dangerous to do it with thousands of people all amped up, going crazy, than an isolated incident
bullshit.
with a bus.
Okay, so let's say the fucking Raiders lose, okay, and the people are rioting in Oakland. You're gonna blame the Raiders for that?
If the Raiders jump into the stands and start the fucking riot, yes.
No.
Yes.
No, they can't
If
blame
Marshawn Lynch walks off the field, runs into the stands, and grabs a fucking keg and starts beating somebody with it, then yes, I'm blaming the fucking Raiders.
No.
And that's what happened.
No, people are fucking adults. Okay, you're fighting in the stands. 20 minutes later, that's on you. That's nothing to do with the people.
Yes, it does.
No,
it's all about that. The tinder box was set on fire. He lit the fuse.
Second of all,
he lit the fuse to the dynamite.
In every sport, okay? Baseball, there's fucking how many people charge the mound?
Yes, this happens.
Basketball, boxing, fucking.
But that is between two competitors in it. This was a guy that jumped out of the ring and attacked the audience, and then the audience jumped in the ring and attacked the fucking fighter.
Attacked the fighter.
So, in the capacity of an audience member.
Look, so you got more fights, okay? Look, if I'm paying $72 and I get 3 extra fights, what the fuck are you complaining?
Don't get me wrong. That was the most exciting thing. I was losing my mind.
Dude, if I buy a cheeseburger and I come home and there's 3 extra fucking cheeseburgers, I'm not complaining. Okay?
Yes, but that cheeseburger should be fined.
No, not the guy who gave you the cheeseburger.
The guy that gave you the 2 extra cheeseburgers should be kicked out.
I don't know, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was worse. That was worse. Jumping in the crowd, in front of that crowd, with all that energy, and setting that on
fucking
fire.
Andrew Galata, when the guy started hitting the guy with a fucking walkie-talkie or some crazy shit that went on. I mean, these things happen in sports, okay? And they weren't fighting the fan. It wasn't like the NBA.
We've seen people come out. We've seen people come out of, but he went into the crowd. It's just like Ron Artest. If you remember, Ron Artest was banned for what, like a year?
They were punching the audience. He was punching a fighter in the crowd.
Who was in the crowd? He was still an audience player. We don't know if the guy that Ron Artest attacked used to be a fighter or a basketball player or somebody like that.
And he was a cornerman.
You went into the crowd and attacked somebody in the crowd.
I don't know. Listen, I don't think he should be It's definitely not worse than throwing a dolly at a bus. Okay, definitely not worse than throwing a dolly.
I think far worse.
No,
Yes.
fuck, no,
absolutely, without
no
question.
Way. No way.
Because I don't think he intended to injure the people inside the bus. I think he was just trying to be dramatic.
He threw a fucking dolly at a bus and got glass in people's fucking eyes.
Agreed. That is what happened. Agreed. That what happened.
What ended up happening? Nobody got hurt in this brawl except for
nobody got hurt in this brawl.
No one got hurt.
I'm sure as part of all these brawls, many people got hurt.
I didn't see one person get carried out in a stretcher. Nobody got fucking hurt.
You're wrong.
Nobody got hurt.
There's no way nobody got hurt.
I didn't see anybody get hurt. All right, so, all right.
I didn't see anybody get hurt. I saw a bunch of people get knocked the fuck out, but nobody got hurt. Okay,
now.
You're insane.
Okay, now, people are saying, all right, so then now Conor McGregor tweets afterwards, the next day, okay, we lost the fight, but won the battle. And then Ben Askren, who we're going to have on, said, you got the shipping out for 20 minutes. What battle did you win?
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad said you can't, but he basically said you can't criticize someone's religion. Now that's the thing also that we have to talk about is that trash talk to, let's say, westernized people is different than trash talk to people who are, third world Muslim countries who don't like that trash talk.
It can mean death. Yeah.
You insult someone's father, someone's religion. You make fun of
someone's mother here, but here you say something about someone's mama. That's ours. That's the red line.
Even that, and I think people say that they like he crossed the line when it came to religion. Now, according to Bilal Muhammad said, who I happen to like Bilal Muhammad a lot, but he said, where is it? He said, all right, so Ally Akinta wrote, pussy Irish guy attacked a bus with innocent women on it. Him and his pussy Dylan, Dennis Corner deserve it. Justice, baby. That's what Ally Akinta wrote.
Well, he's allowed to feel that way. That isn't, he's not making the decision. He's not.
Bilal says can't talk about a man's family and think it's going to be okay afterwards.
That's part of it too, yeah.
Right, you think, look.
But that doesn't
excuse his behavior.
Doesn't totally, absolutely not. They're just basically. That's just their. You know what I mean? Everyone's allowed their 2 cents, and yes, those things are true, but it's easy to say after the fact when we see the results of it. Yeah, that's right. He said those things, and then he attacked him in the fucking crowd. That shit happens, but he knew what that was going to cost him when he did it.
And then Colby Covington. Did you see Colby's tweet?
No. Was it just Trump?
So Colby
isn't he the one that loves Trump? Was it him?
Yo, he loves Trump.
Right. Okay.
And also someone else loves Trump. So he
a lot of people.
He writes, Team Khabib is a filthy animal. Way to set the sport back 20 years, you stupid sheep fucker. So that's not going to win him many fans. Although 3,000 people retweeted it, so I guess maybe there are.
Well, listen, to say they retweeted it doesn't necessarily mean that they retweeted it because they loved it.
Yeah,
But
he says, he wrote apparently free speech lands you in Twitter jail. So I guess he's. There
you go. Well, but they have
Ryan
to.
Swinehart, my friend, he goes, I got your back, Colby. As a stand-up comedian, I know the importance of free speech, but he spelled speech wrong.
Unfortunately, he does not know the value of an education.
Ryan, but I don't know, man. Look, calling people sheep fuckers, come on, man. That's
Twitter is, they're to a point now where they're trying to reduce friction.
Yeah.
And that's a highly inflamed situation, and that guy's a voice who everyone involved is going to hear. Yeah. So, and that's the thing is, free speech is free speech, but that is a controlled platform. That is a private platform. That is not a public platform. It isn't, that isn't sponsored by the government. Like, we don't pay for it. So at the end of the day, they do have the right to regulate it in the ways that they see fit. Am I excited about that? No. Do I love that? No. Because again, as a comedian, yes, our trade is in free speech. But again, a club, if we get up there and say shit that a club doesn't want us to say, guess what? They don't have to book us again.
Right.
Okay? Because it's their stage.
Yeah.
Okay? So yes, if you have a website and you want to publish your own shit on it, go right ahead. But if you want to, Twitter, unfortunately, they're in a place right now where they're trying to reduce friction with all the hate that's going on in our country right now. And so, I can see where they would be like, we got to slow this down before it gets out of control.
So Cormier writes, hey guys, 2 wrongs don't make it right. Conor didn't deserve that. That's true. No one did. But some things aren't for fight promotion. Religion, family, country, throwing stuff in Brooklyn. For Khabib, it wasn't fight promotion. It was really personal. Different culture, man. Sucks. And I think that's a big element of it. Like,
Totally.
first of all,
Absolutely.
Khabib said like his father's going to smash him when he gets home, and his father said, "Yeah, we don't do that. There were women, there were girls around there, there were kids. That's not what we do." And he's more scared of his beating from his father.
Right.
But it's true. I mean, basically, and then Khabib said, we don't have a lot, but at the same time, you can't disrespect. And I do think that Conor's got to be smart. Conor's all like shit talk, like wink, wink, sell the fight,
Totally.
and then be friends afterwards.
And here's the thing about it. Khabib, clearly this was a decision Khabib had made in advance. Khabib knew, I'm going to beat Kim, and then I'm going to beat him. Okay, because there was no hesitation. He went after it before anybody could get to him, before anybody could stop him, before anything could be. He went right after him. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, which means he had already decided whatever the consequences were less important to him than making that statement.
But this was but the thing was, what was Khabib thinking? He knew that
that's what
they
he was
weren't
thinking.
going to let him beat up Dylan Dennis in the crowd. I
think he thought with the element of surprise, he might get to him.
Yeah, but.
And I thought he did get to him. Did he not?
No, Dylan Dennis looked pretty good. He landed a decent shot. I mean, the best punch he's thrown in his career so far. And Dylan Dennis, a lot of people don't like him. They say he's a wannabe Conor and this and that. At the same time, no, he didn't really get to him. Why wouldn't he think, okay, I want to fight Dylan Dennis? There's a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments he can get to where he can fight Dylan Dennis.
I unfortunately haven't watched it over and over again. I watched it in real time and then had to leave immediately to go to a show.
Right.
And the next day was football and then a concert. So I haven't had a chance to really look at it over and over
Randy
again.
Couture. Randy Couture has a problem with the UFC, with Dana White. They had a big falling out. He goes, let me get this straight. Conor McGregor can take opponents' belts, sling water bottles at pressers, throw hand trucks through bus windows, and call people terrorists. But Khabib goes after a verbally disrespectful McGregor training partner after a solid win is a faux pas. I have a lot of problems with both sides of the equation. The cat in the red shirt who assaulted Conor after the fight should be prosecuted. The promoter continues to reward the athletes that pull the best publicity stunts and can talk the most shit. This has become more about antics than competition. The UFC or WWE, what's the difference, really? It's not based on merit and real competition. The rankings and titles aren't adhered to. Let's create an open market for MMA and see who the real best in the world is each week, regardless of what promotion you sign with. So he also wants a union, and he kind of wants to make it.
Well, I've been saying, CB should have a CB's golden ranks. Where he ranks them, regardless of which
but I see what he's,
affiliation they're in, and so you have an actual true ranking system.
Though,
you should do it.
I see his point of when you do those things of they were using the whole bus incident to hype which they never should have done. I understand why they did it, but when you use that for the commercial of him throwing a dolly through a bus, then all of a sudden these antics. But maybe he's cool because Khabib actually tweeted out today a picture of him in front of Dana White's car going, Dana, thanks for giving my belt. I know where your car is. And then hashtag, just tell me where to go, because that's what he kept saying to Conor. And then Dana wrote, LOL, I'm telling your dad, or something. So I guess
they seem to be back on decent footing.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it was crazy.
Listen, at the end of the game, it is a dollar and cents game, and he's made them so much fucking money by doing this exact type stuff in the prelim. They obviously, if they punish him for it, it's behind closed doors. While they also, applaud him for it and thank him for it.
But there's a line though. The problem is there's a line you can't cross, and I think that line is just the goal line keeps changing. And that's when it gets scary.
Yes, because he keeps making them hundreds of millions of dollars.
All right, so let's talk about some of the other fights. First of all, the Pettis fight, see that fight?
Yeah.
That was a great fight. I think what makes Ferguson so much fun to watch is that he's always vulnerable. He keeps getting hurt in fights and coming back.
I love Ferguson, man. I love watching him fight. I was so glad to see him fight again. I loved it.
But people are saying that he's going to give Khabib a run for his money, which... I mean, it's hard to count Ferguson out.
I mean, in toughness, I think, in toughness.
It's just hard to see anybody beating Khabib right now.
It really is. I mean, the way, again, and it goes back to the way he walked through Conor's notorious right hand.
He also doesn't drink.
When I saw that, I was like, this man's unstoppable.
He doesn't party. He doesn't drink. You never hear about him getting in trouble, except for the attacking partners. It's not really like I can't see him making it rain in Vegas with fucking at strip clubs and shit.
Right. Yeah. No, that's not who he is. He probably goes home and sits in a dark room and eats raw meat and cheese curds. Just no, I feed my body.
Yeah.
And then he goes to rest. What I imagine is probably cold concrete slab. He probably has it put in his room. Is make sure the room has ice-cold concrete slab. I must sleep in the comfort of my peoples. And then
like 12 fucking Dagestani guys around him. Like it's always with beards that kind of look like him. It's always him and like 12 dudes just sitting there.
Exactly. It's a different world, man.
So anyway, Pettis looked good though. If he hadn't broken his hand, I would have loved to see what could have happened. You know, that fight might have been a lot closer than it was. You know, if they hadn't stopped in the second round. You think there was a chance Pettis was coming back?
No.
Really?
No.
He hurt him in the first.
I saw that, but I really I felt it was his the whole way.
It was a matter of time.
Yeah.
Tanya Evinger.
I didn't see that one.
She got mauled.
Listen, we love Tanya on this show. Okay, I'm a big fan of Tanya. I love following her tweets. She's a real badass. But I gotta say, man, she seems kind of sloppy when she gets in the ring.
No, when she won 10 in a row in Invicta. It's just a matter. I know
since she got out of Invicta,
but she only fought Cyborg and this other girl.
I know, and those two times. I mean, the first in Cyborg, she looked real sloppy, and now you're telling me she didn't look good here.
I think that it's a matter of like, you know how like sometimes comics they kill like at like 2 a.m. when there's 6 people there, but then they get in front of those big lights and some shit goes down.
Yeah,
I think the UFC lights fuck her up a little bit, honestly, because she doesn't fight like she can. Like when she was in Invicta, she was running through girls,
right?
That were UFC caliber, and that also, that she was the underdog against. But then but
I always felt it was her toughness that really got her through those fights.
10 in a row.
I know, but again, we're talking about women's fighting, which again, I'm not trying to insult women.
But she beat this girl.
But I mean, we've said that like over the years. I mean, it's barely beginning to come up to where those girls at that level actually have some experience. We're talking about, I think everyone mental. Only had a year's worth of experience and shit.
I think it's mental with her. Honestly, I think that some people, they just can't. They get to the big lights fuck with them. Some people, it's the opposite. Like Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah.
Like they say in training, he gets beat up by everybody. And then
he gets out there and he's a world beater.
He fucking knocks out everybody.
Yeah.
But other people, Mike Pyle had this issue. Bobby Green sometimes has this issue. Tanya, it just fucks with. I don't know if you need a sports psychologist or what it is, but I understand at auditions at times I would fall apart. And on the way there, I would know all my lines. I would know it fucking by heart. I could do it in my sleep. And then I get there, like, what am I looking down? Like, what the fuck happened? Like in that, I don't know what I understand what that's like.
Yeah.
And
again, I think Tanya's great. I think she's a badass, but it's like when I saw her in that other fight, I was like, hey, where's the, okay.
Yeah. But that was against Cyborg.
I know, but
by the way, I got tickets for you for PFL Saturday night if you want to go.
Oh, sweet. Now you tell. Okay, we'll discuss this
also. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast.
The Black Beast. Although he looked like he was in trouble there for a minute.
Fucking for 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Fucking 1 minute. What?
I know. It's like, oh shit, this guy's gonna be pretty good.
A minute. First of all, I mean, it's frustrating because you're like, just betting on him or against him must be so fucking frustrating. Because 11 seconds to go, he would have lost that fight.
Yeah.
But now they're making it him versus Cormier, and they're using the promo, the All About the Cake video. It's pretty funny because the police said he got mad.
Which is the thing you did, right?
Yeah. That's gonna be a mismatch. I think Cormier is gonna run through him. I think against the Black Beast.
Yeah.
But if he lands that shot, but
that's what it's about. But I don't think Cormier is going to let him land that shot. He's going to get him to the ground, and then that'll be about it.
If Anthony Johnson could land that shot against him, I think Anthony Johnson would have hurt the Black Beast.
Yeah,
a prime Anthony Johnson anyway. Michelle Waterson, Felice Herrig, fucking Michelle Waterson's just like I thought she outclassed Felice Herrig in that fight, but she just gets outclassed in that next level, like against Rose Namajunas or Joanna. She's like, she's right there, but then she's right there because she beat Felice Herrig. I thought it was 2-1.
I was gonna say it was pretty soundly. I mean, I was rooting for Felice, and I thought she was gonna win. I thought she was gonna bully her a little bit. I thought her power, her strength would overcome her. But Waterston actually, she had a great game plan, and she stuck to it, and I thought she looked better.
Gray Maynard, I love Gray, but it might be time to hang it up for Gray. I mean, he got fucking killed.
Did he? I don't think I caught that one.
And then Nick Lentz gave a shout out to Kavanaugh, to Judge Kavanaugh.
Well, hey, listen.
And then, and then in the PFL, by the way, if you missed the PFL, you missed some good shit because First of all, talk about guys that are fighting. It's amazing how these guys looked okay in the UFC and now all of a sudden $1 million is on the line, and these guys are suddenly world beaters.
Yeah.
I mean, Vinny Magalish, I don't think ever knocked out anybody. He has 2 first-round knockouts in under a minute. So last week, Lance Palmer beat our guy, Andre Harrison, which sucks because now there's $1 million on the line. $1 million. And Steven Siler, he was winning this fight, kind of. The guy hit I think it was like an illegal knee against him in the head. Now, what would you do? Because it looked like maybe Siler could have continued, but he was dizzy a little bit. But now, if you know it goes to the doctor, and if the fight stopped, you win. And the next round, you got to win one more for $1 million. Or would you continue fighting?
Oh,
because he was put in that situation. And look, I think he was hurt, but also I'm like, man, what would I do? If I knew that this guy hit an illegal knee against me, I get the win, and I fight one more for $1 million for my family.
I think I keep going for the million.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you can get back in the fight, because people are like, this is not how he wanted to win. And I'm like,
but he won.
yeah.
So that's what you do.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
He made a business decision.
I think so.
That's exactly what you do. Mm-hmm. Take it. Yeah.
But is there like lack of honor and yada yada?
No. Because the other guy opened the door with the illegal knee to the head. That's it. If you're going to open that door, that's on you, pal. Now I can walk away with this right now? I'll take it. Yes, I can no longer take this fight. I'm woozy, illegal kick him out.
I mean, if it wasn't $1 million on the line, maybe if it was like this.
Fuck it. Even if it's just $30,000 on the line, you're going to hand me the win and I'm going to be like, no, you know what? Let's finish this. Fuck that. Not a chance, you cheater. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And then Cuddly Bear fucking hit this dude, Alex Nicholson. Alex Nicholson was winning. And then this fucking guy, Cuddly Bear, who used to be in the UFC, he hit fucking Nicholson. Hasn't even woke up yet. I like Nicholson, but holy fuck. You guys are, if you're missing PFL, watch it this Saturday night. They got a really good product. And I really think that a lot of fighters are going to start coming in. When they see that Steven Siler.
Where are they fighting at this
Long Beach.
In Long Beach, okay.
But I think when people see that Siler versus Lance Palmer are fighting for $1 million,
yeah,
and they're in the UFC or Bellator fighting for 12-12 or 20.
Yeah, some really good guys are going to go over there to make that money.
They're going to be like, fuck that.
Yeah, they're like, why are we letting these guys take that money? Now they're richer than us, but only one guy gets that, right?
Yeah, but they get for each fight they get money. They're not fighting for free.
Right, but I mean,
one guy in each weight class.
And
so
if you're fighting your way through a tournament, even if it's less money per fight, you're getting more fights than you're getting in UFC or Bellator, where the problem these guys have is sitting around waiting for a fight.
6 guys get it.
You know? So if you're getting paid and you have multiple fights closer together, it probably ultimately, regardless of whether you win the million, is probably more lucrative.
Yeah, totally. 6 guys get it, by the way. All right, so we're
calling in the different weight divisions.
We're calling the Monkey God right now. Monkey God, where are you? It's not ringing. Hello? Hello,
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jared, how's it going? You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. It's me and Greg Wilson. By the way, congrats on your last fight. You looked awesome in that fight, dude.
Kind of looked all right.
No, you look great. I mean, Rogan said that it was. I thought I had it 30-27. Now, when you heard split decision, were you freaking out?
Not really. I wasn't I was on a 2-loss streak. I was like, you know what? If I get cut, I'm gonna come back and fight twice as hard and fight for my spot back in the UFC, and then climb back. I've seen a lot of people do it, but I mean, luckily I don't have to do that now. I can go against some of the best of the world and still get better at the same time.
Well, what's crazy is that, first of all, the fight before that, you knocked yourself out. You were winning that fight. You were killing Jose Shorty Torres, and then you knocked yourself out. How do you even consider that a loss? I mean, he says that he set you up and did that on purpose, but I mean, do you consider that a loss or no?
Yeah, Jose is somebody that in the limelight for the moment to make himself look good, but then it always bites him in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Like his last fight. So, yeah, hopefully he goes against either me or Justice Scoggins. I know Justice Scoggins is wanting to beat his ass too. So.
I mean, yeah, but do you consider that a loss? Like when you knock yourself out, are you like that night? Are you like, all right, that really wasn't a loss, or do you like, fuck, I could have done something different?
Well, I right after the fight, you know, I was in my down stage, you know, how everybody is. But after I realized how much clout I got off of it, me knocking myself out. So I was surprised I didn't see a joke from you on your tweets about me.
I was going to, but it was like it was too soon, you know. And the only times the guys ever got really mad at me were when they got knocked out, and I made a joke about it.
I would have laughed that shit off. I think that you know, being in a joke from you is good. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
nice.
Now that I know that, you're definitely on. Because now the other fight that you fought against Division Figueroa, that guy's looking better and better and better. I mean, he's undefeated, 16-0. You lost split decision, which I thought you won that fight. But this guy's looking like a world beater.
He's going against these guys, and you know, like, I mean, it all shapes out at the end of the day. I don't think he's gotten necessarily better. I mean, his weight cut might have gotten a little better, but I mean, I don't think his skills have gotten that much better. I think he's tried all those things against me. I think if we fought again, it'd be a complete different story. I think that I'm a lot different fighter too. You know, I realized that in that fight, I had to show my striking capabilities in order to win, and I didn't. So, you know, coming out now in fights, I'm striking to my wrestling, you know, and not just going straight for wrestling and then waiting he gets tired to strike.
Now you're getting better and better. Do you have a fight lined up or no?
No, I'm hopefully trying to get on the December 8th card in Toronto.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. You know, I could be fighting next week, Adam. Who knows, you know?
Yeah. Is there anybody that you want to fight in particular?
Whoever they want to put in front of me. You know, I would really like to put up, you know, somebody in the top 10. Somebody like Sergio Pettis, somebody like Olka Sasaki. I think that me and Olka would be like an old-fashioned freak show fight, but we're in the same class. So.
Yeah. No, but you know, I was looking you up, and I didn't realize that as a junior, you were the number 1 ranked high school wrestler in the country at 113, and then you lost. You lost in the state finals, and then you went undefeated as a senior. Now that after you lost in the state finals, what was that summer like for you? Like what was that next year like for you?
You know, coming after a loss, you know, I was just talking to my friend about this the other day, but I'm really hard on myself. You know what I'm saying? In order to get the win, and my dad instilled that in me when I was a kid. You know, he didn't want me to lose. You know, he didn't want to make it look like a son's a bitch. You know, so every time that I lose, I think of even when I win, I lose. You know what I'm saying? I lost a situation. I lost, you know, something in that. I want to be completely dominant, you know. I want to be like Khabib. I want to be like, you know, the high names up there because I feel like I'm capable of that. Now, I've lived my whole life that way. So, I mean, I need to just put on my working boots and just keep on striving through the division. And in the next 2 years, Adam, you're going to see me come through and beat some names that a lot of people won't think I'll beat. And I'll surprise a lot of people in this division.
Look, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. I mean, there hasn't been one fight where you haven't looked good. The one fight you got tired a little bit. I guess that first UFC, you kind of got the UFC jitters. But even then, you like won that fight. It wasn't like I think I was there.
Yeah.
I was at that. That was in Vegas, right?
Yeah. No. That was actually in California, in Anaheim.
Right.
John Jones versus Cormier.
Right. I was there, and I remember the people saying you looked tired. But that was just, I was like, well, you know, this is a different league.
Yeah, I think hats off to Shelton. You know what I'm saying? He came out guns blazing. He just, you know, he looked pretty good in the performance. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna show people and show out.
Now, what are your thoughts on McGregor Khabib?
Exactly how I thought it was gonna go. I think that McGregor, he's powerful enough to tag anybody. He's still, you know, people are still dragging him down like he ain't shit. But that dude can still beat, anybody in the division on a good day. So, but Khabib, he came out, initiated the game plan perfect, did what he had to do. He even outstruck McGregor in round 3. McGregor apologized to him in the middle of the round because he knew he was going to get beat. But, shit happens in the game.
Wait, really? Wait.
Anybody's day, but
wait, he apologized to him? Wait, he apologized to him?
Yeah, he apologized to him in the middle of round 3. He was just like, sorry, man, it's just business.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Now, we were talking about
that's
biggest...
quite a revelation right there.
Khabib was hitting him in the middle of round 3 saying, you want to talk? You want to talk now?
Wow.
And it was pretty crazy, man.
Now, my biggest surprise was that Khabib could take his shot, because it seemed like nobody before could take a straight punch from McGregor, except for Nate Diaz. But even Nate Diaz got rocked a couple times. Were you surprised at all that Khabib was able to walk through his punches?
Well, Khabib, everybody's in Conor's ear too. Conor's just a human being. Everybody's in Conor's ear saying he's going to wrestle, he's going to wrestle, he's going to wrestle. So, of course, he's going to be thinking about knees and stuff like that. But, I mean, it was just a different form of timing, man. Even my opponent, Roberto Sanchez, on the feet, he's somebody that is not that good, but his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is pretty good, so he can withstand that and strike on the feet because people are worried about his wrestling.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Yeah, but still, I mean, the fact that he was able to walk through his punches, though, that was because I was like, all right, as long as he doesn't, I'm like, I picked McGregor because I'm like, Khabib's going to come with his chin up in the air, he's going to walk forward, and Conor's going to tag him, and it's going to be over. And that seemed like that did happen in the 3rd round, except that he didn't hurt him.
Yeah. But, I mean, Khabib is somebody that can come in like 3 seconds in a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's
somebody that can withstand getting hit coming into the shot. All those other guys, they were, either taller or smaller than Conor, So Khabib's around the same size. He's, his timing, his wrestling's better, of course. But, I mean, if they fought again, it might be a different story than those.
Now, do you think there should be a rematch? And also, what do you think should happen to Khabib as far as, like, the brawl that happened afterwards?
One of Khabib's managers went up to the cage and started getting like, went up on him.
Monkey God. Hold on. We're getting it back. All right, can you repeat that? We got a bad connection for a second.
Yeah, Khabib went into the cage because his manager went and was harassing Dylan Dennis after the fight, saying we choked your boy out. Dylan Dennis flexed up on the manager, and then Khabib jumped the cage to pretty much see what was going on.
Oh, is that what happened? Really?
Yeah.
So was it, what's his name? The guy Ali Abdulaziz, was that the guy?
No, it was one of his other managers.
Now, do you think Khabib should be suspended? Do you think they're going to suspend him for a year? Or do you think it's any worse? Because, my feeling was throwing a dolly at a bus was worse than jumping out of a cage. My co-host here, Greg Wilson, says no, jumping out of a cage is worse because there's innocent people there, where the bus, it was just mostly fighters, I guess. What are your thoughts?
Fighters are people too,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm not saying they're not people. I'm just saying there was a lot fewer of them than the Khabib thing, which spilled into the thousands of people.
Yeah.
Are we some gladiators?
No. But which do you think is worse? The throwing a dolly at a bus or jumping out of the cage to fight Dylan Dennis?
Conor jumped out of the cage.
Oh, after Khabib though.
No, I'm saying Conor jumped.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, he jumped.
Yeah, but he didn't swing at anybody. He just got in their face, was taunting them. I mean, that's one thing. This guy started swinging. He started a riot. A riot that spilled out onto the streets of Las Vegas.
He did the eagle stomp. It wasn't that he was. This is his patent move, like the eagle stomp.
I just feel like the dolly thing, you could have, like, I mean, I don't think Khabib could have killed anybody doing that. With the dolly thing, you could have probably killed somebody.
I agree.
I fully disagree. I go the exact opposite way of that.
I agree. I'm with you, man. I'm 100% with you. Monkey, this guy's a god of monkeys. Okay, he knows. All right, he's the monkey god.
I am the monkey god.
Yes. Now, last time you came on the show, you said you can walk into any jiu-jitsu place and tap a brown belt, right? You could tap any brown belt in the world, possibly black belt, in your weight class.
I mean, I wouldn't say any. I would say around my weight class. Yeah.
Okay, around your weight class, which is 125, you can tap any brown belt, any black belt or just brown belt.
I mean, I'd say black belt too. I mean, I can control a black belt, and if we went for 35 minutes, I bet that I'm the one that submits.
Did anybody take you up on that offer?
No.
No.
If anybody wants to take me up, I would love to get some training in. You come to my place. I just put a new gym up in my attic. It's kind of creepy up there, but if anybody wants to withstand it, they can come train.
But why don't you try like an EBI or one of those grapplers Quest or one of those things, or one of those the one that just Uriah Faber just did, that whole team thing? Have you thought about that?
I've done a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments, but I haven't really thought about any of that, like traveling for jiu-jitsu. I think that's something after my career. I mean, I do most of my grappling matches in here with these killers. So
got it.
Yeah, but Adam, I am at 1% on my phone, dude, and I'm about to go to jiu-jitsu practice.
No problem. Kill it, man.
I'm so sorry,
No, dude, thank you for coming on the show, man. You're a great man.
Dude, thank you.
Anytime.
You're the man.
Anytime. Take care, Jared.
I appreciate you, bro. I'm so sorry again.
No, all good, brother. All good. Take care, brother.
All right, brother. Yep.
All right. That was the monkey god.
Hey, there's the monkey god.
The monkey god agrees with me.
Well, listen, if there's anyone whose opinion we can trust, it's definitely the monkey god.
What would your nickname be?
All of the great minds throughout history have associated themselves with monkeys and gods. This is well known. And to be the monkey god, listen, that's right up there with Aristotle, Plato, the great minds.
Somebody told me their favorite part of the show is you making me laugh. No, Bob Sapp, you're here calling in right now. Hold on, Bob Sapp, what did you think of it?
Hello.
Bob, what did you think
Who's this?
This is Adam Hunter.
Sorry, I'm in Uganda. It's tough to tell. We got a loose connection. They barely have phone lines here. In fact, most of the messages are carried via squirrel. They're written down by monkey porters who hand the message to a squirrel who then brings it to me to let me know to answer the phone.
No, Bob, did you watch the fights last week?
I watched the fights. Very exciting.
Now, what did you think about Khabib versus Conor?
I saw that fight. I was like, man, I wish I was there to get a piece of that action.
Now, how would you do against Khabib?
I would have lost in the first round. I don't know why Conor waited so long to collect his check.
You would have tapped right away?
Right away.
But what about trying to win?
That would have been the way I won.
Wait, you don't win by tapping.
Sure you do.
No, you win.
The important thing is that you beat the investigators till you're playing back to Uganda. That's how you do that.
No, but don't you think getting your hand raised...
That also is... That's another form of victory. It's like, a lot of people think it's better to be in, Bellator than PFL, but you can make more money in PFL. So PFL you, motherfucker.
All right, Bob. Now, do you have a fight coming up?
All my fights are coming up.
Who are you fighting next?
I think I'm fighting the IRS. I've got the IRS, and then I got 2 baby mamas that I got to go fight in court.
Right.
But they're small claims. And then I got to deal with this kidnapping. In Uganda, somebody kidnapped someone. It's just hilarious.
No, you keep laughing when you talk about kidnapping.
Well, it's just so funny. I don't know if you've ever been charged with kidnapping, but it's hilarious.
That's not really what comedy... All right. Well, listen, thank you.
I heard there were hundreds of people injured in Vegas. So funny.
All right, Bob.
I'm losing you now. The squirrel's here to take a message.
All right. Take care, Bob.
Bye.
Thank you. That was Bob Sapp. Now, a guy that... we're going to talk to a guy that tweeted out after the fight, I told you Conor McGregor sucks. Ben Askren. Hello, Ben Askren.
What's up?
What's up? It's Adam Hunter and the Greg Wilson. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. How are you?
Oh, shoot. I blanked. I'm running practice right now, but I'm going to do the interview anyway.
All right, nice. What are you doing right now?
We just started practice.
All right, cool.
Oh, shit.
Now you tweeted out recently, I told you Conor McGregor sucks. Do you think he really sucks?
Well, I mean, right, it's all relative. So what does he suck relative to? Well, he sucks relative to Khabib, and he sucks relative to me. So, yeah, he sucks.
But he did beat Poirier, and he beat Eddie Alvarez, and he beat Jose Aldo.
He got a few good wins here and there.
He got some. Now you did call the fight. You said exactly how it was going to go.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah, the video's still up on Facebook, so you can go check it out.
Now I always thought that Khabib's chin straight up in the air, walks forward, and that was going to be right for Conor's left hand. But you saw that not happening. How did you know?
Well, I just really, if you watch those old fights that you referenced, what Conor does so well is he gets people mad, and then they do stupid shit when they're mad, like people do.
Completely.
So it's Conor's plan. It's a good plan. He gets people upset. They bum rush him, and they take advantage. And Khabib is nice, composed, and went in there and did exactly what he thought he was going to do.
Now, how do you think you do against Khabib?
Very well.
So now people are saying that's the fight to make. You couldn't make 50.
Fun.
You couldn't make 55 though, could you?
No, but they're gonna do this 165 division sooner or later.
And then
I'm thinking sooner. I'm thinking it's probably coming pretty soon.
And you think you could make 65?
Oh yeah, I definitely could. I made 163 for the Olympics.
Oh, I know, but that was a long time ago. But and you fought at 185 over at 1FC.
Yeah, but that was you couldn't cut water weight.
Ah, okay, got it. Now
that's way different. That's way different.
Now, guys like Al Iaquinta, they say, Al Iaquinta's a great wrestler. I think he was a junior national champion or something. He took second in the state of New York. But he said Khabib's wrestling was a different level. He said that the strength that this guy has, he never felt power like Khabib. What is it with these?
Yeah, but you're referencing his high school credentials. That's laughable.
Really? Why is that laughable?
Because that's what we compare after Pee Wee football to NFL.
Good point. But what is it about these Dagestani guys, and what is it about that type of wrestling versus, let's say, versus the kind of wrestling that you do?
Well, that's the best wrestling area in the world. And so, Khabib's never. I don't believe he was supposed to say it, but what I think happened was that early on in Khabib's life, he probably was trained to be a wrestler. Maybe they all did wrestling classes. And then he realized that wasn't going to be, wasn't going to make the team or whatever. And so, he went a different route, did some of the Sambo, and then obviously went into MMA fairly early.
Yeah, but it does seem like when they grab, it's kind of like with you, like when you grab somebody, you have this you have this gorilla strength that other people.
Yeah, but the difference between me and them is I didn't do a lot of steroids.
Oh wait, you think the guys from Dagestan are doing steroids?
You watch Icarus; they pretty much just straight up say it.
Yeah. Now, by the way, do you think that because I was watching college wrestling recently, and I think you might have ruined it, honestly.
Why?
Because every time a guy goes for a single or a double, they do some weird funk thing now where they grab the back of the wrestling shoe and some crazy scramble. And it worked for you. It was amazing. And obviously, but it seems like, but now they get into, awesome. But now it's all like potentially dangerous situations where they just hold and then the ref restarts it. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And obviously, when you use scrambles, not every wrestler is scrambling to win or scrambling to score points. Some of them realize, hey, I'm overmatched, and I'm just going to do whatever I can do to hang on for a second here and try to get a stalemate or try to not give up points. And so, they're not all using it for the best purposes, but I think you'd say overall it's been a significant improvement to wrestling. I think that would be my opinion.
No, you're right.
You're saying differently.
No, I was kidding about you ruining it, but you're right though. There's got to be something though different where people are just holding on for dear life until the ref restarts it, because that seems to be slowing down. That seems to be slowing down the action.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, if you really know what you're looking at with the scrambles and stuff, it is very entertaining. In my opinion, it's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And I love the technicalities of it.
No, I agree. Now, did you think that Pettis was going to beat Ferguson going into that fight?
Yeah, I thought he had a good chance because Anthony's so dynamic with the striking, and I knew Ferguson would be prone to getting hit at some point. And, Anthony connected a few times in the second round. I think he dropped him twice. I guess he broke his hand. He wasn't really able to follow up on that and get a finish. And so, Tony did a great job. I put a video out last night about how, I think Tony can give Khabib a good run for his money.
Yeah, the only thing about Tony is he seems to get hurt in every fight, which makes it fun and makes it interesting and makes him very vulnerable. But you do kind of wonder when that's going to catch up to him.
I'm sorry, what did you say at the last part of it? I missed that.
I kind of wonder when that's going to catch up to him. It seems like he gets hurt in a lot of his fights, guys aren't able to capitalize it. But I wonder if he gets hurt in the Khabib fight, if that'll just be it.
Yeah, the thing I think he has Judge really on his speed is he doesn't get that tired, So considering the fact that he doesn't get that tired and he can keep up that high volume striking pace that he likes to do. Khabib has gotten tired in his last two fights. And the thing with McGregor fights, McGregor was equally as tired, so he couldn't take advantage of Khabib's fatigue. But I don't know that that'd be the case with Ferguson. It seems like Ferguson would just keep on bringing the heat no matter what.
Right. No, it's true. Now, how do you think Kevin Lee does against Khabib?
Partner, go right away.
How do you think Kevin Lee does against Khabib?
I think Kevin Lee could do all right. I guess we'll see. Kevin Lee did, he's gassed out before, and so, I think he's going to give Khabib a good go off the bat, but I don't know. They keep that pace for 5 rounds. I think he's obviously not getting that fight right now.
Yeah. Now, when I had Dana White on the podcast, I kept saying how I wanted you to be in the UFC, how big of a fan I was. Dana said, he made a call, but that you were tied up with ONE FC. Is there any truth to that? Are you done with ONE FC? Can you go to the UFC? Are you a free agent? Talk to us.
We're just going to leave that vague for a minute.
Wait, what?
I'm refusing to answer your question.
Oh, come on, man. We want to know. The fans want to know, Askren. Okay, you're not getting any younger, bro.
Find out.
We need you. We need you. You're what MMA needs right now. You're the savior, bro.
I'm the hero they didn't know they wanted.
It's so it's so true, man. It's so true. It's so true. Now, Cormier versus Black Beast was announced today. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Great for Cormier. Easy money is the way I see it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
Derek Lewis is entertaining and all, but he lost 14 and a half minutes of that fight. And then obviously connected with I believe it was a big right hand on a left hand, and put him out.
Now, Gary Tonin says he wants to grapple you, or he would be honored to grapple you in some kind of EBI or something. Any interest in that?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not totally opposed. The one thing I don't like about the grappling contest is that they are so skewed toward the jiu-jitsu guys. As opposed to being the wrestling. Obviously wrestling is my background. Wrestling is what I did my whole life, and that's what I'm really, really good at. I tend to be okay at jiu-jitsu.
You're a brown belt, right?
I wish there was a competition that I had. You know what? I would really like to see eventually, and I don't know this yet, but something that's more similar to catch wrestling, where catch wrestling, the deal is pin or submit, so you can't lay on your back. And and the thing is, if jiu-jitsu wants to be honest, they say the original reason jiu-jitsu is because it's realistic to a fight. But now, as we see in fights, almost everybody who lays on their back is beat up. It's very, very rare that someone who is on their back is winning the fight.
Right. Well, you're also a brown belt, right?
I'm a black belt.
You're a black belt. Yes, now, is there kind of a thing where you go up against Gary Tonin, but he's so good at knee bars and leg locks, he starts off on his back, does some kind of a butt scoot thing, and now you're kind of stuck?
I think I could go, right? But Gary Tonin's as elite gets. So, I'm not opposed to that at some point in my future. I don't know about right now. I'm actually going to wrestle in the Midlands in December. I'm looking forward to that. I started dieting already, losing some weight. So I'm getting ready for that. I'm excited. I haven't wrestled folks got 11 years, so I'm excited to get it going.
Wow. Now, who's in your weight class?
We don't know yet, but I think that he's going to be there. That he's ranked number 1, so he's really, really good. But hey, Adam, I got this seriously, well, I got to run this practice. I'm sorry to give you more time. I'll come back on another time. Is that cool?
No problem. Tomorrow, same time. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no problem. We'll do it next week. Ben, you're the best.
All right.
Take care.
All right, see you guys.
All right, that was Ben Askren.
Nice.
Yeah. I love Ben Askren. Fucking guy, 17-0, two-time national champion, like 5th most like pins in college history, Olympian.
Yeah.
And the UFC won't sign him because he's too boring. And because he called Dana White a fat old ball guy or something.
Well, that might have something to do with it.
But guys have said much worse about Dana White.
That make him money.
People would pay to see Ben Askren. A lot. The wrestling community is a big community. Big community.
Not big enough, I don't think.
Oh, beyond. The problem was that ONE FC was giving him upwards of $100,000 a fight, and they gave him, I think, a Ferrari or something. And he's like, what the fuck? Why would I'm fighting easier guys for 10 times the money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now there's always going to be that asterisk of like, what if? You know, with amongst MMA fans.
And that's the way it is. I mean, again, this is the dilemma they have. Do I make the money or do I chase the fame? I mean, it's kind of, you almost have to make a choice sometimes with these guys.
I would go for the money.
Exactly. So,
you got a family, you got kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go for the money.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why they offer them more money here, because they know they're going to, like, listen, you're not going to fight in UFC, but we're going to pay you more to fight over here. Okay. So he took the money.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, my buddy, do you want to call him? He was in Vegas on Saturday night after the
I'd rather
fights.
talk to you than like your buddy. So, yeah.
But he was there, and I would keep telling you that this stuff spilled out onto the streets, and it was brawls on it.
We still have one more fighter to talk to in 15 minutes.
Okay, all right.
So, how's your fantasy football team doing?
Doing great. I mean, they were doing great. I've had 2 tough losses in both of my leagues, but I'm 3-2 in both. My points are high. I'm 3rd place in one, 2nd place in the other. So I'm on the right side of 500, and I'm still trajecting the right way. The games that I've lost, I mean, I've been I lost this Sunday to the guy who's number 1 in my league.
Aren't you an expert in this? Why are you never winning?
I am winning. I just told you I'm in 3rd and in 2nd.
Oh, all right.
So I'm not losing. I'm in 3-2 in both.
How many teams are in your league?
And here's the thing. I mean, you have to remember, a lot of it has to do with injury, and a lot of it just has to do with the way that you draft. And my teams are very good.
How many teams in your league?
In one league, the one I'm in 3rd place, there are 12 teams.
Okay.
And the one I'm in 2nd place, there's 10 teams.
All right.
So, I mean, you know.
Well, listen, guys. Have you ever looked at a photo of yourself from years ago and thought, damn, I looked young. What happened to this guy? Where'd all these wrinkles come from? When did I start looking like my dad? Well, listen, some things get better with age. Wine, for example, or a nice scotch. Unfortunately, it's not the case when it comes to your skin, especially your face. Your face is very important, guys. Very, very important. Well, Hims Anti-Aging Kit is a custom prescription cream tailored to your skin that can help keep your skin looking youthfully smooth by reducing the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines. The secret's not a secret. It's tretinoin. And its results are backed by science, okay? Yes, tretinoin, all right? Tretinoin, even better. Listen, it takes seconds to apply, and it's the same treatment celebrities use to keep their faces looking young. You ever see a celebrity, you're like, oh, how did that guy stay so young?
Totally.
Yes, and you see other people, you're like, oh. Well,
you've been up doing blow all night.
yes, it's your skin. You want to be a face in the crowd or the face in the crowd. Order now and save $20 off your first month by going to Hims Anti-Aging Kit. Lock in those looks now and get your first month of anti-aging for just $20 off. Go to forhims.com/roastedsc. That's forhims.com/roastedsc. That's forhims.com/roastedsc. And that's Speedweed. How good is it, by the way?
It's so great.
I always give it to you.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love getting the extra. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how I usually give you like an eighth to go. How long does an eighth last you?
Like a week.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I don't, because that's the thing, when it's strong weed, you don't have to smoke that much of it. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
It's good strong weed, you're just a little dabble, do you?
It's crazy, like, it's just crazy, like, we've become so lazy now with weed. Like, I'm like, oh, is it pre-rolled? I remember when you have to, like, roll joints.
Oh, totally. I go in there and buy I'll just pull over and buy a pre-roll. As opposed to, you know what I mean? I'll see a shop and be like, let me grab a pre-roll while I'm here. Yeah. And I'll just go in and buy a joint, and that'll be my afternoon joint. It's real nice. I like it. But the thing is, I will say this. The it being totally legal thing, I think the weed quality was better when it was not prepackaged and pre-sold the way it is now. Yeah, absolutely.
No way. I used to buy dirt weed. I didn't know what the fuck.
Because you were buying from the wrong people, you idiot. medical was fantastic, but now it's all. So I think it's just the quality has gone down a little bit with the packaging going up.
Well, I'll tell you what's
But I mean, Speedweed, they have the good stuff.
They have good stuff, and so does Santa Cruz Medicinals. It's CBD infused vaporizer pens. Okay, it's 200 milligrams of CBD. They got strawberry lemonade flavor, and I'm telling you, they got this new product. Follow them at Santa Cruz Medicinals on Instagram. They work very hard to research and formulate a vape pen that has no bad ingredients. Okay, many suppliers, they tried selling these guys inferior products. They said no. Took them a while, and now they are ready. Every vape pen that they order comes with a carrying case, it's a rechargeable battery, and a 200 milligram CBD vape cartridge. Yes, comes ready to use. Simply screw in the cartridge and inhale. The cartridge had C-cell technology for smooth hits, and the flavor is amazing. They got strawberry lemonade, subtle flavor, smooth, no CBD smell. You can use it anywhere. It's $40 at scmedicinals.com. That's $39.99. This is for you. Check it out. Tag your friends. And they're giving away one of them on Instagram, okay? The winner's going to be announced soon on October 12th. So check it out. You got to be 18 or over to enter. And I'm telling you, scmedicinals.com, their vape pen is no joke. I strongly recommend it. Strongly recommend it.
Strongly?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. So, yeah, what you got shows this week?
Let's see. I'm at the Haha on Thursday. I'll be there the Late Show Saturday for the Down and Dirty. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm somewhere on Friday. What's going on?
Last night was good. The Dime Bar was good. Except, these comics, they always give me 19 credits, right? Someone's like, a lot of times I wonder if I'm doing this for me or for them. But I try to give everyone a spot to ask me. Okay, unless you're brand new, hey, I'm thinking about starting comedy. Can I do a show? No, that's not
right.
You can't do that, right? But if someone's a year or two into it, I'll give them a spot because I know what it was like, and I still remember people that told me no in New York.
Yeah,
I remember the people that in bar shows.
Right.
I remember a comic, Craig Baldo, who I like, but he goes, man, I only book comics that are past the clubs. That's what he told me, my first year into comedy, and I remember thinking if they're at clubs, they don't fucking need your room. I'm the one who needs your room.
Yeah.
But I understand his whole thing. But at the same time, I remember that. So I don't want to be the asshole that says no to people. Because you never know.
Right.
I seen Whitney Cummings when she was a fucking week into comedy or 2 weeks.
Sure.
And now look at Whitney Cummings. And I've seen comics. You never know who's going to hit. You try to be nice to everybody. You put out good juju. And hopefully it comes back to you. I do find out for comics, it's every 10 favors I give out, I'll get one back.
Comics are incredibly selfish that way.
Maybe
if you do somebody a favor, you have to make sure they understand they owe you a favor. Because if you don't, all comics think that they just deserve it.
Or I have guys that say to me when they ask me, hey, can I do your show? I run this room and I run that room. But then I give them a spot, and they don't offer me the fucking room.
You have to make that clear.
Well, a lot of times I don't even want to do their rooms,
Oh, well, that's different.
Depending on the room, But a guy last night, actually. So anyway, I...
Wait, who was the guy last night?
Well, no, there was a comic last night that,
What's his name?
The comic...
The comic, or her name?
Oh, his name. No, there was a comic last night that he when I'm looking through the photos for the flyer, I could see, only does, one club, or a bringer club kind of thing, right? So I'm all right, so the guy shows up, I go, you're up second, and he rolls his eyes, like I'm giving him a bad spot or something. Then he goes
again,
on.
all comics think they deserve better.
Then he goes on, and people were bombing, and he goes up there, and he's like, oh, great energy in this room, right off the bat. And then he goes, oh, I'm booked at the Dime. Wow, my career's on fire. So shit on the fucking
stock.
Fucking boom, boom, right?
Yeah.
And then he fucking proceeds to fucking eat it for 7 minutes. And I'm like...
What's his name?
I don't care.
See, you gotta tell us now. I want to
know him. It's not the point. It doesn't matter. But the point... But it's him times 100. There's 100 of these guys.
Right.
And I'm just I can't stand these people that they just... they go there, they shit on your fucking room, and they shit on you, and then they bring out their fucking notebook, and they bomb, and then they leave like they're George Carlin doing his 4th special. I'm like, you not just witness?
And I got to tell you, Adam,
yes,
this is why guys make guys like that bring people.
I would never.
I know, and because you won't, then stop giving these people spots.
No, I give them one and out. And then when they ask me again, I book them for 7 months from now. Literally, I'll be like,
this all sounds too nice.
I'll be like, I have a spot in April. And then they go, whoa, that's far away. I'm like, so? That's what it is. Because, or, it's funny sometimes, I'll have these comics that come and they're nice to me, and my wife and baby are home. I haven't seen them in 4 days. I was in Iowa all fucking week.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, I'll get the room going. Place is crowded. I'm leaving. And then within 5 minutes, I get a text from the girl I put in charge going, this one's giving me major attitude because demanding to go up. Like, as soon as I leave, they fucking...
Right, they immediately go after the person and say, no, he wanted me to go up. He said I could do this shit.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm like, what? Like, really? Like, fuck. So, I don't know.
No, that's pretty typical, too.
But, I mean,
I don't know why this still surprises you.
No, it doesn't surprise. It's just annoying.
Comics are idiots. They're entitled assholes. That's what we are.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't say that I was any different when I was a young comic because I was exactly the same.
No, you always brought it on stage.
Well, that was the thing is I did well on stage, so it makes
and you were always
you know,
nice to people. You're always nice to me.
I tried to be,
And
but I have to admit there was a lot of entitlement too. There was. It's endemic of being a comedian. You have to remember to even go into comedy. You have such ego that you're saying my thoughts are so genius. People need to pay to hear them.
The worst was on Last Comic Standing. I was sitting there and like Eliza and them were just bitching and like, oh my God, the lunch is late, or I can't believe I got a middle seat on the plane. I'm like, I even said to them, I go, you guys realize that every comic in the country right now, aside from like 10, would love to be where we are right now, and you're bitching about this? Like, fuck, what's wrong with you guys? You know?
And some people are like that because it works.
It works for a lot.
You know, for some people it works in terms of, sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even think to ask for that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even realize we could check in early. Like,
it's sort of like
so
that
some
girl-
people that, it's like if you, it works for them and that they, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So they'll complain about something and so they'll get something better. And it's like, while you and I would find it unbelievable that you would complain about it to begin with, they wind up getting an upgrade out of it, and it's like, oh, okay, now I guess maybe I'm the idiot.
It's like that. You ever see that girl in college or high school that is convinced she's super hot, and then like she just walks around like she's the hottest thing, and then guys go for her because they somehow like she convinced everyone else that she's hot. Like, I've seen that.
I don't know, Adam. I left high school in the
I've
past.
seen guys do that too. Or I've seen people in college where they are convinced they're good looking, and because they're convinced that other people are now convinced they're good looking.
Listen, fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but I don't think they're faking it. I think they really think that they're.
Well,
great looking.
that's the other thing. Perception is reality.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy. Perception is reality. Whoever invented that fucking thing is nuts. Anyway, we're calling a guy right now.
Unfortunately correct.
We're calling a guy right now who is 10-0 in the UFC, who nobody knows who this guy is. This guy is a badass. When I tell you, like, I saw him fight in Russia, he whooped a guy that was also, I think, undefeated. This guy looked like they built him in a lab, and this guy just came and beat the shit out of him. Wow. And he's from Iowa. He took second and third in the state of Iowa high school. Wrestled two-time.
If he's from Iowa and he wins in Russia, that's just dangerous.
Two-time national champion.
He's risking his family's life for that victory.
I mean, this dude. But I think he's leaving the UFC because he couldn't come to a financial agreement with them.
Well, this is a very common refrain at this point.
But it would be if they lose him, it's not good. It's no bueno because this dude is legitimately good. Jordan.
Hello.
Hey, Jordan. Jordan Johnson, this is Adam Hunter and Greg Wilson. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast.
Hey, brother.
Oh, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? Hey, I thought
I had a little bit longer for this phone call.
Oh.
I'm ready.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, I was saying, man.
Were you in mid-jerk or something?
You know what? I'm not going to disclose what I was doing.
He was in mid-jerk. Me too. I knew it.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Exactly. It happens all the time.
Now, I got to say, Jordan, there were a couple guys, when I saw them fight, I'm like, this guy is going to be a champion one day, right? I was right with Darian Caldwell. First time I saw him, I knew him from wrestling, and I saw him fight. First time I saw Chris Weidman when he beat somebody not way before, and I'm like, this dude's going to be the champion. And I got to say with you, Tatiana Suarez, another girl, I'm like, one day this girl's got it. I think you got it, bro. Holy shit. I think you have that it factor. I think you're going to be the world champion one day.
Awesome. I think so too.
You went to Russia. You beat Adam Yanlev. This guy looked like he was in they built him in a lab. This guy was buff, huge, and I think they put you out there to lose, right? This guy was just knocking people out, and you whooped that guy's ass.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, they made me an offer for my next contract, and I said no to it, and I don't think they were going to do me any favors. So
are you done with the UFC?
Fuck it, went whooped his ass. So
Now you did whoop that guy's ass. I think they brought you in to lose. You came out there and completely destroyed this guy who everyone was saying how great this guy was in Russia. It was like Rocky 4 when Rocky went over there and just but it wasn't even close. It was like the guy didn't win a second of it. Now, are you leaving the UFC?
More than likely. Before the fight, they made an offer, and I had my number and I gave it to him, and we're not going to give me that amount, so I figured I would hold out and I wouldn't sign, and I'd go, put on a good performance and talk about that number again, and I wasn't, budging or changing my number, and they weren't going to give it to me, so, I still haven't gotten my, they have the rights to me, I guess, there's like a 90-day period, so I'm technically still under contract, even though I thought out my contract, but I'm going to go hear what everyone else is offering me. So
now, how far away was your number from their number?
Very, very far away.
Ooh.
Now, because I was gonna say, like, that was the first time I heard of you. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy, Jordan Johnson? And then I looked you up, and I'm like, okay, he's undefeated. You were a state champ in high school. You were Illinois state champ as a junior, and then you came in third in Iowa. Now, was that hard? Was there a chip on you? That must have been tough, right? Because you were like the Illinois Chase camp coming in, and then you took third. Was that rough?
Dude, it was rough. I haven't, that was my fucking sob story for a long time. So that's nice that we get to revisit that. I kind of forgot about it.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's
Way to bring that up, Adam. Good work.
I lost some dude I just had a bad match, lost in the semis, and then I ended up majoring the guy at team state the following weekend. Ugh. And, I beat the champ multiple times, I think 3 or 4 times during this season. He was on the other side of the bracket. He won it. But, that sucked. Was there
a target on your back because you were the Illinois state champion? People from Iowa thought they had something to prove?
Oh, I'm sure everyone felt like they had something to prove when they wrestled me. But
then you went to Iowa. Did you wrestle under Gable or was it Tom Brands? Who was the coach when you were there?
It was Tom. So I was actually in Tom's first recruiting class.
Wow. Now, what was that? I remember going to Iowa wrestling camp when I was 15 years old. I got the shit beaten out of me for 2 straight weeks, and the Brands brothers were like gods over there. And then if you're listening to this first time, so Dan Gable left the program. He wanted like the most winningest coach ever in the history of Iowa, and then Brands took over, and they were still really good, right? But it was kind of different.
Yeah, no, they were. While I was there, we won 3 national titles. So Tom was, a good coach. But he also, for being honest, he had 2 recruiting classes because he also brought in all the guys from. He had like 2 Division I programs because he brought over all the guys from VTech. So, he got basically 2 programs under one roof.
Right.
But he's the man. That guy. He's very passionate about the sport of wrestling. And if you're passionate about the sport of wrestling and you're a wrestling member, you can be very successful. Now,
how did you do in college? Now, I know you won the nationals in freestyle twice. How did you do in folk style?
I spent most of my time as backup. I was wrestling heavyweight, and I was behind Dan Erickson, who was a 2-time All-American. So when I got in the lineup, I had some pretty good moments. But, I wasn't in the lineup too often, so...
Now, was that hard knowing that you could have went somewhere else and started for them?
Well, I left my senior year and I wrestled at GCU, which is what brought me down to Southwest. So, and I went and started at GCU as a national qualifier, 10th place. But it was fun to get to actually go wrestle a full season and be the starter.
Nice. So when did you start your MMA training?
I started training MMA in 2013. So I actually 2012 because I finished school and I was working. I was actually working in the mines out here in Arizona and like Baghdad, Arizona, and Shreda, Arizona. And I was kind of starting to get into doing some jiu-jitsu over at the lab and the MMA lab. And I was going over there. I was wrestling with those guys, trying to stay active. And I started doing some grappling tournaments. I started beating some pretty big names in jiu-jitsu and grappling. And I got real close. John Crop's the coach over at the lab, and me and him got real close and really decided to pursue a career in this. And I got, real serious about it and started training full time. And,
I mean, Krause must have loved you. You're this heavyweight guy from Iowa, 2-time national champion. I mean, he must start drooling when you walked in that gym.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of studs there, so I don't think he's too excited. But we got along really well. I love John Crouch. I think he's one of the greatest coaches in MMA still. So I owe a lot to that guy because he really did. He got behind me and really believed. I could do something great in the sport. Got me to believe it. And so,
right.
Awesome gym, awesome guy.
So now here you are. Okay, you're undefeated. You're 10-0. You're whooping everyone's ass. I mean, you really are. I mean, what? You have how many? You went from heavyweight to. By the way, how hard is that cut? Because I know that most of your fights were initially at heavyweight.
Yeah, so I did my amateur career at heavyweight just because it was kind of one of those things where the amateur competition, you're not. If you're a Division I wrestler, you're a good athlete. Like it's going to be pretty hard to find someone to kind of test you, and so it just didn't make a lot of sense to be cutting weight. So me and Crouch kind of talked about it. It was like, fight a heavyweight because you take short fights and short notice fights, and you just fight whenever you can get fights. So I was like, I was fighting heavyweight, so I did my amateur career at heavyweight, and then we decided when I went pro, I was going to fight at 205, and we always kind of knew. I've been talking about going to 85 for a while, but I mean, I was, beating everyone's ass, so there really wasn't a point to go down, and then, it was.
Now, could you make 85?
It kind of turned into the time to make the cut. So
now I know that the PFL has $1 million tournament where the winner gets $1 million. Have you thought about going there?
Absolutely. I'm going to hear everybody's offers, and that is definitely an option. So I know the season's going on right now, so it'd be a while before I'd actually be able to compete for them. But if we could work out a deal that made sense to not compete until the next season started, then I would be more than happy to go there.
I mean, you seem pretty angry. Is everything all right? You seem kind of pissed.
Oh no, I don't know if you watched my post-fight interviews. When I kind of prefaced it with I'm going to be happy. I'm not pissed off. I know a lot of you guys think I'm pissed off, but it's just, I think it's just my character.
That's just you. Got it. Okay. Now, what did you think of the whole Khabib Conor thing?
Oh man, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know which part you want to talk about. Just
the fight itself,
aftermath,
any of it. Talk to us.
I don't know. I can't think. You can't think it's too wild what happened. It's the UFC definitely created it. There were felony assaults going on, and they cut the promos with the footage, and they let Conor do and say whatever he wanted to, and so they built it up to that, and then I know that's kind of what the sport. That's a huge part of the sport is being controversial, and I tweeted some stuff. And that's how me and you got linked up. I pissed some people off on Twitter, and here we are. You kind of have to do that. It's part of the game. But it's at the same time, I don't know where you draw the line. I read Vitor Belfort, someone I'm really close with, made a post the following day about how we want the sport to be professional and not get too out of hand. We need to have some clear rules and guidelines as to where that line is, because if that's where you set the bar now, it's going to get that out of line. That's it's going to have to go bigger for people to get more views and get more attention. They're not going to be able to not be. It's going to have to be even more wild. The next time, so the next guy that comes around that wants to get all these views, what's he going to do? How far is he going to push it?
Yeah. You tweeted out that I wonder why Conor got off the juice for this fight. So do you know for a fact that he's on steroids? Is that just your thoughts? Is there any kind of proof there?
No, I don't know Conor McGregor. I just started tweeting stuff to piss people off because it gets a reaction. Like I said, which led me to being on this podcast. So it's,
Yeah.
There you go. He makes a point. Listen, he makes a point.
But you do think it's bullshit that Khabib hasn't gotten paid yet, right?
Yeah, it is bullshit. But I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I don't know if you know, if he doesn't get paid, it's not going to affect me, so whatever. But he should get paid.
But then you also tweeted out, why are the Irish such a little bitches, and the Irish can suck it properly? Do you not like the Irish?
No, I'm actually, so if you look at my Instagram, I posted a video where I poured out the proper 12, and same thing, just to get a reaction out of people. And I mean, Connor's fanboys are just so sensitive that I just had to keep running with it. And then after I made they could suck it properly, I just kept running with it because they were just so triggered.
Okay, so you actually don't not like the Irish. He was just trying to fuck with people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the Clayton Bigsby of the Irish. I did my 23andMe, and so someone actually inboxed me and told me I was racist. I was actually thinking about doing a little post about I'm the Clayton Bigsby of the Irish.
Well, there you go.
Now, is there anybody that you think could actually beat you in the UFC?
What weight class?
205?
No.
I mean, how do you think you do against, like, let's say Chris Weidman or Yoel Romero or Kelvin Gastelum or Robert Whitaker?
Dan, I do great. I do great. I've trained with everybody. I know how good I am, and I'm as good as you get. And I've admitted in those post-fight interviews, like, maybe the UFC was a little bit down because I came out and I just I ran through my first guy, and my next two fights were a little lackluster. But I mean, I found out right before the Marcel fight, I found out I was having my first child, and that kind of put me in a different mindset. I wasn't,
Was it with your wife or with some random hookup that you had?
With my wife.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it was 100%.
Got it.
We were not expecting, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, that was a huge life change for me, but I still went out there and I still beat that dude's ass. And then, no one really knows this, but my son was born on Tuesday, and I left on Friday to go fight. And that was the most emotional, experience of my life. And
yeah.
It was not the easiest time to go fight. But the thing is, I'm so good, I was able to go get in the cage, and I fought a guy coming down from heavyweight, and I'm an 85-pounder, and I hit him, I think, 100 times more than he hit me.
I mean, yeah, no, look, you got all the skills. I mean, you're a D1, you're a state champion wrestler in high school, you're a college, you qualified for the nationals in college. You were obviously about the Iowa program. What belt are you?
Let's see. I got my blue belt from John Crouch in 2013. So I'm like the world's most badass blue belt. But I also got a purple belt rash guard, a purple rash guard from Dean Lister, 8 months ago. So.
Okay, and then who are some of these guys that you beat in jiu-jitsu?
Oh man, I don't know. Brazilians.
Nice. But they were big in the.
Jiu-jitsu's kind of a joke. Everyone's a world champ and pain champ and.
Well, you're an IBJJ world champion, right? No gi.
Yep. Blue belt. I got a stripe on my blue belt. So I'm actually a one stripe blue belt under John Crouch. He gave me a stripe, and I got home from that.
Is that because his didn't fit anymore? He kind of gave it to you, or?
No, I don't train in the gi very often, and I wasn't training in the gi very often then. But he was like, I got to do something.
Right.
He just won this tournament, so.
Nice.
Here's this piece of tape.
And then your boxing's amazing. All right. I mean, you got really good boxing. You knock people out.
Yeah.
So I think you got 2,000 something Twitter followers. I think that's the problem is that people don't know you. I think if you were from another country, you'd have 55,000 Twitter followers or 100,000. Because people don't we don't get behind other Americans until they're like the champion or like right there.
You don't. Wow.
So
you go to.
Yeah.
We're all a bunch of haters here.
I wish the culture was a little bit different here. The fans really got behind their fighters.
So, guys, follow him, Double J MMA, because I'm telling you, I watched you fight in Russia, and you beat the living shit out of that guy. And that guy was no joke, and he was enormous too. And everyone was like, "Oh, this guy," and you just took it to him. I mean, you fucking blasted through him. And then I went back and watched some of your other fights, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy might be the most underrated fighter in the world right now." I honestly think that. I honestly believe it. And I you know,
I guess I feel like I'm finally got in a position. I'm back at Power MMA. I got great team, great gym. Got finally settled in to this new role as being a father, and everything's really in order. And I'm ready to just fuck people up.
You need a better nickname though, Double J. Like I think resting bitch face would be good for you. Like because it seems like you have
big swing.
Resting bitch face.
That's another thing. That's another problem. The UFC won't give me enough money, and they took my nickname away.
What was
Jordan Big Swinging Johnson?
What was it? Jordan Big Swinging Johnson?
Big Swinging Johnson.
Big Swinging Johnson. That's great. What's wrong with Big Swinging Johnson? What? They took that away? Really?
Yeah. Fortunately, Dan Hardy was throwing it out there for my last fight, so I really appreciate that.
Big Swinging Johnson.
Cool dude too.
That's hilarious.
You should just change it to Suck My
Johnson. Well, now Greg Wilson is a master of promotion. What would you do if you were this guy? Because he's 10-0. This guy, I honestly think that like he might go to Bellator and win the tournament. He might go to PFL in the tournament, and then that'll be good for them because they can lay claim to having the best fighter in the world at that weight class. But if you were him, giving him advice, what kind of advice would you give to
chase the money?
Chase the money?
He's got a kid. He's got a kid now. He's got to chase the money. And then when he wins those, he'll have a bigger name. And hopefully you don't sign a contract that you won't be able to get out of at some point to go back to the UFC once you can get the number that you want.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, I'm not trying to leave the UFC, but like you said, I mean, I have a family. I have a baby, and I completely changed everything. So
Yeah.
Adam knows.
It's a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work, and I mean the UFC is cool and all, but got to get paid.
Yeah, you got to get paid. Yeah, and honestly, like I for real believe in you, man. Well, listen, Big Swinging Johnson, thanks for coming on the podcast. I'm a fan for life. Keep it up, man.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Oh, anytime. Take care. All right, that was Big Swinging Johnson.
Big Swinging Johnson. That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
I mean, if your last name's Johnson, why not?
It's a shame though that they're not promoting this dude because I think they have a lot of people. They have gold in a lot of people, but it's just like for some reason like they just ask for some reason. I mean, like they promote the Sage Northcutts, the Paige Van Zandt.
Listen, we go through this in comedy. How many guys we know that are incredible comedians that Comedy Central doesn't promote?
Me.
Netflix. Exactly. Me. You. Exactly. We're talking to two of them right now. Right? Total crushers. Totally at the top of the lineups everywhere that we go.
Nobody wants to follow us.
And then do they give a fuck about us? Do they give us a shot? No, they give it to some kid who does a podcast.
And what's crazy is that like I go to Iowa and kill. These are the people that are watching their fucking network.
Yeah.
People in LA and New York aren't the ones fucking tuning into Comedy Central every night. It's like fucking dude in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to put on this special, So I'm the one making them laugh.
I know, and yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All these industries have this. They all struggle with this of the one guy going, no, that guy, and not that guy. And it's like, but he's the fucking great one. He's great at this. Yeah, but this guy's exciting, and he's got so many followers on Twitter.
Well, listen, you got to make sure that you protect your nuts. So a guy that we're talking right now is Craig Diamond from Diamond MMA. Hey, how's it going? It's Adam Hunter. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. How are you doing, man?
Good, nice. How are you?
I'm doing good. Life is good. Just hanging here. I got the brand new baby. She's 9 weeks old, and
Ooh, congrats.
Yeah, no, and you're on a good show today. We got Jeremy Johnson coming on in a little bit, as well as the Monkey God, Jared Brooks, as well as Ben Askren. So you're in good company. So
nice.
So, by the way, thanks for sending me that
stuff.
Wait,
I'm sorry, you said Ben Askren and who?
The Monkey God, Jared Brooks.
Oh, yeah, okay. Couldn't hear you.
Yeah. So, by the way, thank you for sending me that stuff. It works really good. I've actually been using it to work out in, and it's really good.
Good, no problem. Yeah, I've been a fan of yours. I wanted to support you, and I appreciate you for having me on. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Ben Askren was one of the first guys we kind of sponsored too, and he's wore our cup through his whole career. He's in Milwaukee, which is not far from where I'm out of Chicago, so I go up there all the time.
Now, how did you go from being a T-shirt company to the most trusted groin protection product at MMA?
It's kind of interesting. I mean, when I first got into the sport, I mean, I used to watch the old tapes in college, like everybody, and got back on TV, and all these T-shirt designs, even from Tap Out to some of these other guys, it's just kind of cheesy and not my style. And I wanted to make a shirt that could represent the sport, but also not have flaming skulls and eagles and all sorts of weird things on them. And I kind of created a classic brand and design, and then we started making fight shorts. We thought we could make some really cool fight shorts, and while showing the fight shorts to a bunch of fighters from Rufus Sport and from AKA, they said, hey, we don't need fight shorts, we need a good cup. So we kind of scrapped everything and started listening to the fighters and them telling us what they liked and didn't like about their cups. And we started designing the world's first non-shift cup that's comfortable and protective. So,
but how do you do that? Do you have to go and do you have a guy, do people test it out? I mean, you go from a T-shirt company, do you have a lab somewhere and have to find people who make cups and then is that what happened?
Great question. So what I obviously skipped over it a little bit, and I've been doing this almost 10 years, so there's been a lot of steps along the way. But I was looking for a designer, and actually a childhood friend of mine that's a part of Diamond MMA as well was working at the time with a Purdue wrestler named Alex Coriano, who actually trains with Gil Melendez in the Scrap Pack and Jake Shields and all those guys. And he happens to be an industrial designer. So, and with the love of MMA and wrestling and design, I flew out to San Francisco, and we would, spend nights designing and prototyping and cutting up yoga mats and trying to just figure out a cup that would be good enough to take a kick from a UFC fighter and keep fighting.
Now, how do you test that? Do you actually have somebody wear it while people kick the guy in the groin?
Yeah, you're talking to him. I'm not only the hair club president, I'm also a client.
Really?
You have to be a little bit older for that Cy Sperling reference, but no, I'm the guy that tested it.
Wow. So you guys have somebody come and just kick you in the balls as hard as they can over and over again until it stops hurting? Basically,
we came up with a series of prototypes, and we tried them on. We had and it's not just the cup, it's the actual shorts and the jock straps that all hold it in place, so it's everything. And when we got to as close as we thought we can get to being ready to test it, I put it on. I went to actually Jeff Curran's gym, and I had a guy kick me. And that was the time when it worked. And I said, wow. You felt a little pressure, but no injuries. And then we just kept refining it over the years. And as long as you're wearing the proper size and, everything's inside the cup, you can take a kick and keep fighting.
So, now Joe Rogan's always talking about the Thai steel cup. Do you guys do that too, or no?
No, so we kind of use the Thai steel cup as an inspiration. You basically have the shoestrings that go around your legs, and then a shoestring up your ass crack, and we basically just improve that design. That shoestring from a Thai cup that would go up your crack, that's what's kind of holding that cup in place and against your body. But it's not comfortable, it's hard to put on. So we kind of just improved on that and built our strap system into compression shorts. And Rogan saw our videos of me getting kicked in the nuts with our cup, of course, and messaged us. This is about 6 years ago. And said, hey, and at the time there was a big problem in the UFC. Guys would get kicked in the groin, and then they'd go down and the action would stop. So Joe kind of knew we were trying to solve this problem, and I remember I overnighted him a system, and it was like $90, and I thought that was so much money to send it to Joe Rogan. And when I sent it, I didn't hear anything back, and then I found out he tried it and loved it, and on one of the broadcasts, he actually talked about it.
Wow.
During an actual groin shot timeout. And then our website crashed, and we kind of got known to the world, and
wow.
Yeah, and we've been here ever since.
Now, a lot of people, there's a big debate on whether or not people should wear cuffs during jiu-jitsu, because sometimes people don't like it because, people don't like to go against guys that wear them because they get an extra arch on the arm bar, like an extra torque.
Yep.
Now, do you recommend wearing it during jiu-jitsu or no?
I do. I'm a jiu-jitsu blue belt. I train at shout out to New Breed in Niles under Mark Vivas, and I would say at our gym, 40 to 50% of the guys wear cups, maybe a little bit less. I personally would say absolutely wear a cup, and it's got to be a comfortable cup. If you're wearing a cup that's not going to be tight and stay against the body, then it's going to be more of a danger to you. If you're wearing a cup that you're going to put on and you forget that it's even there, then you're going to definitely protect yourself against anybody that's spazzing on you and tries to pass your guard and maybe puts a knee to your groin. There's been a lot of bad injuries, and I recommend wearing a cup. But again, not all jiu-jitsu guys do, but we're trying to change that.
And then some guys take the 5 minutes when they get hit in the groin, others don't. And then sometimes I remember Dan Hardy saying it's not actually the kick to the groin, it's the fact that they moved it around, and then it like wears up against your one testicle kind of a thing. But your cup totally takes care of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a 4-strap jock. So it's 2 traditional straps for your legs and then 2 straps kind of simulating that Muay Thai cup strap. That all built into compression shorts and a cup that's deep enough to hold all your family jewels inside, and with a drawstring on the waist, it's going to be locked down, and you're not going to have that issue with our cup. We offer a lifetime warranty on the cup. If it were ever to crack or break, we send you a new one. And, that's what we've been doing. I spent a lot of time and money, and I started this business basically out of my car, but more and more people realize it's an important piece of equipment that you need. It's worth the investment.
Now, do girls wear cups, or should they?
We've done a little research on that, and not many do, although there are female groin protectors. So I should probably know more about the subject, but I just really don't. It's not. I don't believe the commissions make or enforce the female fighters to wear anything for their fights, but we are working on a bra eventually. So we might be releasing some prototypes soon for a really, really nice.
Because some girls, like I know there was a nip slip a couple of years ago with a girl, and some girls they kind of wear too many. It's just that could be a big problem with the females. So I'm good that you're working on that. Yeah. So what do you have coming up? I mean, you've perfected the cup. So what's new for you? What's the next big venture?
I mean, the next adventure is just spreading the awareness about it and getting more people to wear the existing products. But we just came out with a really cool product called the Compression Brief. So that's for anything that doesn't require a cup. So if you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you just will not wear a cup, you don't like them, you refuse. This is a pair of compression shorts that's real lightweight, almost just like a nice pair of underwear with a built-in pair of underwear on the inside. So it's a double-layered compression short, which will keep all your stuff and your junk from moving around and be supportive. But there's no cup, there's no straps. It's just something to wear under your gi or your shorts or for running. And we're selling those now too. That's called the Compression Brief. So we just want to be the best in the world at protecting that one region in that area for now, and that's what we're focused on.
Now, the people send you pictures of stuff like, "Hey, this is what happened. I got kicked in the balls. It's the worst case scenario." Have you seen any of those?
I've seen some unbelievably disturbing pictures of groin injuries, and I mean the UFC fighter Devin Powell had a big issue with in surgery, and we've been talking to him, and we've seen a lot, and even guys that testicular cancer survivors that have only one nut left, and they got to protect that one that they got. Right. And I've had guys just that will wear jock straps 5 days a week just to give some extra support and aren't even playing sports. So there's a lot of use for what we're doing and different applications. But
perfect. So where can people? If I wanna, I train jiu-jitsu, I train Muay Thai. Where can I get this stuff?
DiamondMMA.com. Just Diamond and MMA.com. I mean, we're selling on Amazon. We're selling all over. We're still a small company. If you call the number on the website, I'm going to pick up the phone. If you have any questions on sizing, if you're just not sure, let us know. And if you were to get our product and it just doesn't work for you, we give you a full refund even after your sweaty balls are in them, believe it or not.
Now, are there some guys that don't fit into it? Like I would think of a guy like Czech Congo or like the Black Beast. Do you have to make special cups for these guys?
We've had some requests, and we actually are working on that. I guess that double extra large cup size. There's not too many of those lucky men out there, but I guess there is a need for it. So yeah, in the future we're gonna have another size up, and especially for you, Adam. We're gonna get you.
Of course,
I know you need one too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, man. It was a pleasure having you. You were doing the Lord's work. You were saving people's balls, and thanks a lot, man. I totally appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Me too. It was great talking to you.
Anytime. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you, Craig. So, what do you got coming up?
I'm here in town right now, and so I'm here like until December. This Thursday at the Ha Ha, Friday at the new Echoes there on Pico, and then Saturday I'm supposed to be back at the Ha Ha. But if we're gonna go to PFL, maybe we can go there first because I'm not at the Ha Ha till like 11 o'clock, nice. Or 10:45. So maybe we can catch most of those fights.
I can't go, but I get tickets.
Oh, that's right. You're right on the road.
Yeah.
So it depends. It depends on what time their card starts, But at Long Beach, it's a little tougher.
It starts early because they fight twice in one night. The winners fight twice in one night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, which is cool. You get
so they got to go on to the next round and fight again.
Yeah, PFL, the fighters fight in the cage twice, not just out of the cage.
So yeah, man, give me those tickets. I'll go see that. That'd be great.
They're not fighting audience members. They're fighting other fighters in the cage.
Yeah, Khabib did that, but they didn't get paid any extra for it.
No, you got his purse held. So, by the way, so this Thursday night, actually this Friday night, I'm in with Jeremy Piven in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Saturday night, I am in Des Moines, Iowa. And then Sunday night in Omaha, Nebraska. And then at the Funny Bone, Monday night with Piven at the Kansas City Improv. Kansas City. And the 27th, 28th, Miami, Oklahoma. And at the end of the year, I am at the Stratosphere that whole New Year's week in Las Vegas. Also, people, if you go on Amazon.com, if you order off Amazon, go to AdamHunter.com first, then order whatever you want on Amazon.com. Greg, any shows you want to promote?
I just said
anything else you want to promote?
And also my podcast, Fantasy Football Harsh Reality. If you're a fantasy football fan, be sure and check that out. It's twice a week on SoundCloud. Just search Fantasy Football Harsh Reality.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Даавар дуудан дур булаа мууруулаа.